Now the prepackaged kits come with lengths that are quite long. Okay? You don't want to be working with lengths that are this long because the motion of the needle in and out of your fabric tends to twist the thread, and once your thread gets twisted, it knots. The longer the thread, the easier it is to twist. So you want your length of thread for your embroidery floss to be about 12 inches long. An embroidery floss comes with 6 strands twisted together. Our pattern is calling for 2 strands. Okay, so we're going to want to separate our strands. So you take the bunch between your thumb and forefinger and you gently pull out 1 strand at a time. Okay? You don't want to pull out more than 1 strand at a time because this will tangle up the rest of your threads and cause trouble when you're trying to unravel that. Okay? Then you put the 2 strands together and you thread your needle. Okay? Make sure that your floss is fairly smooth and not twisted. Okay? Now, when we begin, you want to make sure that you don't tie a knot in the end of your thread. Okay? We want to keep the back of our working surface as smooth as possible. This is because when it comes time to framing, your fabric is going to be lying flat against your stretch board. Okay? If you have a knot in there, it will push out, and we don't want to have that effect. Okay? So do not put a knot in the end. Take your needle, okay, and from the back, find a hole in the center of your fabric and push the needle through. Now keep watching the back. So you've got about 1 inch of thread left over, and hold on to it with the finger of your opposite hand. Okay? Now take your needle, and there's a hole immediately above where you just came out. Go to the one hole to the right. Okay? So you're making a diagonal stitch. Okay? And this is called a half cross. Now what we're going to do is we're going to do all 5 of those heart symbols in half cross first, and then come back and do the full cross. Okay? The reason why we do that is, again, it will make the back a lot more smooth. You want to keep your back as smooth as possible. Okay? So you're going to continue with the half cross, where you just push down into the fabric, find the hole immediately below that, and come back up. Now let me show you on a diagram so it's a lot easier to see. Okay? So, if you started here, you came up from here, you made a diagonal, and from the bottom you came up beside where you came up the first time. Okay? And you're making diagonal stitches. When you get to the end, okay, that is when you've completed your 5 half crosses, then you're going to come up immediately below where you last went under and go back the other direction, okay, to complete your cross. When you've finished all 5 crosses, the back of your fabric, okay, take a look at that right now. The back of your fabric is going to look like this. Not crosses, but lines going up and down. Okay, this is the look we want for the back. Now, you're going to take your thread where you've last come up and push it underneath the last 3 stitches. You're not going to poke through the fabric, just go under the thread itself, okay? So that this is in effect tying off without actually making a knot. So this will secure your thread. Go underneath the last 3 stitches and take your scissors and cut off your thread right there. Okay. Then we find our next color on our chart. Okay, so either right next to it, above it, below it. That doesn't really matter so long as you start working from the center outward. Okay? And what you're going to want to do is make sure that all of your stitches are going in the same direction. Okay? So I started here, going from left to right for my half crosses. Okay? To complete my cross, I went from right to left. So make sure all of your half crosses are left to right, and your crosses are right to left. And what this does is it gives your final project a much glossier appearance because everything is going in the same general direction. Okay? Now remember, once you've finished all of your half crosses and your cross stitches, that's when you go back and do the back stitch over top of it for your detail and for your outlining. Okay? Now, if while you're working your thread becomes twisted, and it will because of the in and out, okay, you simply hold up your embroidery frame like this, okay, and pull down gently. Always make sure that your hands are clean so you're not putting any grease onto the threads. Okay? Pull down gently, and that will untwist your thread. You're going to want to do this every 10 stitches or so, just to make sure that your thread is constantly smooth, untwisted. And an untwisted thread will also lie flatter and have a better appearance for your final result. Okay. So with that basic instruction, you should be able to complete your project on your own. Okay? Take your time. Cross stitch is not an easy craft. Okay? For example, when I was working on this particular piece, okay, I used to work on it during my lunch hour. Okay? So it's an hour a day, and it took me 3 months to complete the work. Okay? So it does take time. But I think you'll find that if you are careful and you do take your time, the end result is well worth it. All right then. Now, if you have any questions, just raise your hand. I'll be wandering around the room as you're working and helping you out as you go. Okay? Great. Thanks very much and have a great day.